Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Killer Beat, goddamn witch finder general. If you got a witch, I'll burn their ass up every damn time. We got a good video for you today. I'm going to be addressing some things. Hey, Brainstorm. She just sent me a message. Hold on one second. Zumba. All right. I'll read that later. I won't read that on here. All right. Sure. Hold on one second. Sure. All right. Yeah, first of all, I like to thank my supporters. Brainstorm is one of them. If you'd like to join the supporter list, you can send a donation to Cash App, like Cash App Cult Buster. As you see it there, scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Um, and I'll shout you out every single video that I do from here on. Um, just leave your name and the Cash App, whatever name that you want me to shout out. It could be your name, your business, your social media channel, whatever, right? Long as it's nothing offensive or anything like that, right? And yeah, you get shout out. It's good for if you have a channel or something like that. You like to get promoted or a business to get promoted. Something that's a good way. So with that, I'd like to thank all my supporters: Brainstorm, Homeschool Academy, Sister P, Josh, Negi Springfield, Siberius the Sleeping Serpent, Yasu, Victor Always, San Miguel TV, Bill Hill, and Myron Edwards. Okay, so with that out the way, let's get this thing on the road. I think we got Negi Springfield hopefully be popping in. It might be a little bit too early for him. Um, if not, because I know he knows a little bit more about the history of the Talmud. I just started studying and looking through it and stuff like that. For those of you that don't know, I'm an ex cult member of the Black Hebrew Israelites. I've been spending my last, I would say, probably a little over 2 years now, exposing the cult and exposing other cults out there, particularly mostly black hate groups and stuff like that, using their doctrines against them, like we're going to do today. A friend of mine, he posted something on Facebook um, that, like when you leave the cult and stuff, you find out that it's not right. And you still, and you think it's all over, that you're getting on with your life, but you fail to see that there's a lot of things that are still attached to you. Some of the cult doctors and stuff you still might have in you that affect your decision making in your everyday life. Also, you start to while you're in this, you attract other ideologies and stuff like that. Uh, for example, the thing about Jews that we're going to be talking about today. A lot of these people have heard these things before they even came into the cult, and a lot of them gravitated towards the cult because of some of these things that they've heard. Right? Never researched, just heard, and it sounds good. And this is what the cults and stuff they like to do. Good morning. Good morning, Brainstorm. Good to see you up in here. Um, they take those things and Brainstorm right there. She was the one. She was like, well, "You think all this stuff is out of you?" I'm like, "Yeah," but then after I hung up, I had to think like real hard. Like there's a lot of stuff that's things that I don't really realize, or it's so it's been embedded in me so much that I believe that it's normal, right? And that these are my own thoughts. No, the stuff that you picked up along the way, just like rap music, for example. I use rap music as that was the conduit or whatever to gravitate towards these cults and hate groups and stuff like and motorcycles. So yeah, it leads you to these things, right? Say for instance, right? Every black kid in the 80s and stuff like that love Public Enemy, right? Even white kids love Public Enemy, right? And a lot of things that the Public Enemy were saying it sound good, right? There's a lot of black kids and stuff that liked what they said, even though some of the things might be talking about their culture or their race and stuff like that. They'll agree with it. Like, yeah, they did this to black people and all this stuff, like, right? And with that, they'll also poke in some other stuff. Like for instance, I don't know if y'all remember, but Professor Grip says some anti-Semitic things, and they kicked him out of the group. They kicked him out of the group. So he went on and stuff and did his own thing after that. He's still around doing his lectures with a bunch of nonsense like type information, pseudo information and stuff. And yeah, everybody loved them back there. Like I said, black people, white people, all types of people love Public Enemy because they were rebellious, and like kids like rebellion. Like kids like to rebel. They feel you hit that age, 13, 14 and stuff, you're trying to get out there and see what the world is and have your own opinions about things, and maybe things might not be going the way you want them to go in your household and stuff like that. And this music gives you some type of relief or escape from those things. And for Public Enemy, you had other groups. You had like Paris, right? That was whole Black Power thing and stuff. What was his album? Something about the devil, like Shame the Devil or something like that, right? And for black kids and stuff, you start to go to school. Now you heard about Malcolm X and Public Enemy, so now you go into school in history class and you asking the teacher about Malcolm X, right? I was listening to KRS-One. He was talking about Haile Selassie, the Rastafarian thing, right? So I told a story on one of my trains how like I was blessed to have a huge encyclopedia set, a bunch of other books for me to read as a very, very young age and stuff, right? So I would look up Haile Selassie, everything the rappers would talk about, I'll look it up in the encyclopedia. Then I'll go to school and I'll be making the teacher talk about it. I'll bring it up. And some of them, they'll talk about for a hot second and get off the subject. Some actually give me some more information on it and stuff, right? So with some of that, they probably didn't realize what they were doing by giving me some of this information that was just making me fall deeper into the hole, right? And it just snowballs, especially KRS-One. I was a huge fan of KRS-One, right? And then when I got into high school, it was that probably my junior year when he made the Sex and Violence album, and it seemed like he was going in the opposite direction from where he was going in his previous albums, right? So I started not to like him. I was like, I'll never listen to this dude again. Like, he sold out, and he's doing commercials. He was always underground and all this stuff, like, right? So I'm gonna get to the show, y'all. I'm just setting things up. I want to get some more people in the room too. We got one up in here. It's crazy. But I did put the wrong time scheduling, so that could be part of it. But you start to, especially the anti-Semitic stuff that some of these rappers would say, and it's kind of weird too, because like some of these record labels are owned by Jewish people, and they're allowing them to say some of these things, right? Without any kind of, you know what I mean? But, you got freedom of speech, I guess. So I guess it was okay to them. I don't know. That's another subject. But there's a lot of things like saying, they would say the Jews own all the media. We're going to do a video on that. This is kind of going to be like a series. I'm not going to touch on all the information that I got, because I could do this all in one video. It's going to be quite long, but it's going to be packed with information. So let me make the video kind of short. I'm just going to hit on this meme that this person put up. I'm not going to show the meme because I don't want to promote it. But I will read what it says and then give y'all an explanation of it from the information that I found, right? I found a good, I was trying to compile the stuff like myself, and then I found an excellent site and stuff that like broke a lot of this stuff down and saved me some time. So I'm going to share with you guys what I found through this site. And hopefully you guys get some understanding and stop all the madness and stop all the BS and stuff with all the anti-Semitic stuff, all the hate stuff. Because a lot of the people that claim they want freedom and claim they want, which they have, right? They claim, and that's another thing that these music did. You know what I mean? I'm just using music because that's the first thing, but there's other things too. I'm sure you guys could think of it, books and all types of stuff, right? And these things that make you think that you don't have things when you do. You have rights. You have all these things here to protect you and to make you be able to prosper and live your life the way you want to yourself without harming anybody in this country. So, thanks for number 2 coming up in here. Thanks for stopping by. So, hopefully, after the video, some people will get some common sense and stop pushing this stuff. Because a lot of people, too, after they hear this information, they're going to dig farther into it. And then it'll start to change their minds about the cults that they're in. A lot of the people that watch me and stuff, they're in cults. Well, I don't think that they watch me in the background. They're not active in here because they know how I get down. And they don't want the smoke. So, but so hopefully, like, I post on a lot of these cults groups on Facebook and stuff like that. So people will see it. Especially I do things for like the women, right? Because women will listen. Women will pay attention and look at stuff and actually use their brain. Where men just like blah, 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 blah. They're like cavemen, basically, like the way that they think. And the cult is just controlling them. So let me get me right into it. Still only one person in this room. This is crazy. But yeah, for whoever comes up in here, please share the video, get this information out and stuff. So I'm going to read what this person wrote here. Like I said, I'm not going to show it because I don't want to promote it, right? And after I said, like, saying that stuff, that information is wrong, the person just went nuts, like, and started posting more stuff, right? But I'm going to knock all that stuff down because y'all know how I get down. He knows how I get down, right? He's a good dude and stuff. Like, he's over here and stuff like that. He supports me. But I just want him to realize what he's actually doing. Like, he got out of the cult, but he still has a lot of the cult ideology and stuff like that. Hold on 1 second. I want to get a certain person up in here too. Let me hit them up real quick. I want to get a certain. All right, hold on. Let me get the link here so I can send it to her. Where you at, girl, up in here? Okay, hold on. Let me get this one thing out of the way. All right, I sent it to me. Okay. All right. 3 people in the room. I feel a little bit better now. So, what's up, man? All right. He said, I don't know. Yeah. Yep. All right. So, he said, why are you always out here? Badass kids. Okay. All right. Get to where I was going. He kind of sidetracked me. So, you always out here. All right. Let me read this thing here. That's where I was at. It says, what does the Talmud, the chief authority of Judaism, have to say about Jesus Christ? Right? Number 1, it says Balaam, who they're calling Jesus, fornicated with a jackass. Sanhedrin 105A through B, C. 3, I'm sorry. Second one, Jewish priests raised Balaam, they're considering Jesus, from the dead and punished him in boiling hot semen. 57a, get 10, 4. She who was the descendant of princes and governors, and they're referring to the Virgin Mary, played a harlot with a carpenter. Sanhedrin 106a. And the last one, Jesus was lowered into a pit of dung up to his armpits. Then a hard cloth was placed within a soft one, wound around his neck, and the two ends pulled in opposite directions until he was dead. Sanhedrin 52b 5, right? And what disturbs me too is at the bottom of the meme, it has a link to a neo-Nazi white supremacist group, right? So my question to these people, especially ex-Hebrew Israelites and stuff, why? Because you have a problem with the white man, you have a problem with all these other so-called nations, as you call them. Why would you use their literature? Why would you use their doctrine to help yours? Because you believe all these things, these people lie to you, white man's liar, and all this stuff. Like I did the video yesterday with the guy trying to get people. He took that post down, right? He got mad at me, but he took that post down because it was foolish. That showed this black man and said that it was Joseph Smith, and to prove that the father of the Mormons and the Latter-day Saints was a black man and not a white man. We see this with the Hebrew Israelite cult that I used to be in, saying that King James was a black man, and what actually showed you was a I forgot the type of print can't come to my mind, but basically it's etched and pressed. It's like line art basically of King James that was photocopied. You know, if you keep photocopying stuff over and over and over, it's going to change the image. So it appeared that he was black, but it's semi-appeared. Like in your mind, if somebody drilled that in your head, after a while, it's going to look like that. But when you look at it, like today, I look at it and just laugh about it. I couldn't believe I was so stupid. What's up, Malachi? Okay, we're going to get into this stuff, right? Like you can come on here too, because I don't know too much about it, but I'm gonna share my screen now. Get to this thing here. Okay, close that up. Well, damn. Oh, here it is. All right, I'm gonna read the second one first. Jesus' narrative in the Talmud, right? Share my screen here. What's up, Shamiyan? Good to see you up in here. San Miguel TV, what's up, man? All right. We're going to knock them down today. Said most of these so-called color scriptures use the word black as a negative thing. Now, that's something that I'm going to continue what I'm talking about today. I'm going to continue it on another video, and we're going to get in that. I found a good, if you send me a message on Facebook, actually, it's on my, no, I have it on this computer. I'm going to send you some information, you know what I'm saying, some scholarly stuff I'm going to send you. And they did a really good job on it. But I'm just going to give you guys a little cute clue on it, just how the Hebrew Israelites use what it says, that Judah is black unto the ground, right? And they use that. See, the ground is brown. So that's saying that the Israelites was black. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little clue of what I'm going to hit on. But I did a video. If you go, I don't know if that video was up or I got it private or unlisted or not, but it's one of my first videos. And I explained that we were going at Rob Rack. You know what Rob Rack is, the guy that throws up on himself and this vile and this like wicked person that claims he's a man of God, right? Okay, let me just get on with this thing here. Okay. Can you guys see that? Oh, I guess you can. I have my screen down and larger. Okay. There are four main passages in the Talmud that are alleged by some to discuss the story of Jesus' life and death. What we will do here is to analyze closely these passages and see the reasons one may or may not attribute these stories to the life of Jesus. We will also look to another two passages that help us identify our protagonists. We will quickly realize that there are great difficulties in stating that any of these texts refer to Jesus. We will see the large number of historians and Talmudists have addressed these issues and have concluded that either none of these passages refer to Jesus or that they refer to proto-Jesus, whose life was later obfuscated by the theologically motivated rewriting of history. Right? Now, this is Jewish people talking. Right? It is important to keep in mind that there are many people in the Talmud with the same names. R. Aaron Hyman, in his biographical work on the sages of the Talmud, Todat Tanayim, Ver Morarayim, right? Hey, y'all can forgive me on these names. I might skip over some of these names so you guys can see them on the screen here. If I can't pronounce them. Josephus listed approximately 20 different men named Jesus, at least 10 of whom lived in a time as the famous Jesus. The name Panthera was also a common name in the first 2 centuries. When dealing with first names, it is very common to come across different people in the Talmud with the same name and the same applies today. When I refer to Bill, I am talking about the president of the United States, the billionaire founder of Microsoft, or the local celebrity. In one place, I can mean one Bill. In another place, a different Bill. It is therefore almost impossible to identify some based on their first name alone. Second names, which in the Talmud mean the name of the father, enables us to identify people with much better accuracy, but not entirely. It is very possible for both two men and their fathers to have the same names. This makes history much harder, but ignoring this fact is distorting history, right? The note, the word Ben means son of in Hebrew. Therefore, Simon ben Gamaliel means Simon, the son of Gamaliel, right? Now, passage 1, Ben Stada. It is taught, R. Eliezer told the sages, did not Ben Stada bring witchcraft with him from Egypt in a cut that was on his skin? They said to him, he was a fool, and you cannot bring proof from a fool. Ben Stada is Ben Pendira. R. Chosta said the husband was Stada and the lover was Pendira. Pendira, I guess that's how you pronounce it. No, the husband was Papos ben Yehuda and the mother was Stada. No, the mother was Miriam and the woman's hairdresser. As we say in Pundetia, she has turned away from her husband. Summary. What we see here is that there was a man named Ben Stada who was considered to be a practitioner of black magic. His mother's name was Miriam and also called Stada. His father named Papos ben Yehuda. Miriam had an affair with Pendira, from which Ben Stada was born. Proof. Some historians claim that Ben Stada, also known as Ben Pendira, was Jesus. His mother's name was Miriam, which is similar to Mary. Additionally, Miriam was called a woman's hairdresser. Magadla Nashaya. The phrase Miriam Magadla Nashaya, I guess that's how you pronounce it, sounds similar to Mary Magdalene, a well-known New Testament figure. Problem. Mary Magdalene was not Jesus' mother. Neither was Mary a hairdresser. Jesus' stepfather was Joseph. Ben Stada's stepfather was Papos ben Yehuda. Pappos ben Yehuda is a known figure from other places in Talmudic literature. The Mechilta Shalak has him discussing Torah with Rabbi Akiva in Talmud Berachut 61b. Has Pappos ben Yehuda being captured and killed by Romans along with Rabbi Akiva. If any Jewish people out here and I'm just like slaughtering these names, please hop on it. It's totally the correct pronunciation, right? Lived during the second half of the first century and the first half of the second century. He died in the year 134. If Pappos ben Yehuda was a contemporary in Rabbi Akiva, he must have been born well after Jesus' death and certainly not be his father, right? I'm going to jump down here to something. So I'm going to jump to something else I wanted to see here. No, I'm going to go back to this. This is the one that I actually want. Yeah, this is what I want right here. I was on the wrong thing. But that's showing a great example of how things could get screwed, and people will close my screen up here a little bit. Well, damn. Oh, wow. Thanks very much for the donation, Nagy. I appreciate that. Okay, hold on. I got some issues with the screen here. Well, damn. All right, got to hit escape. There we go. All right, we good now. All right, share screen. All right, let's get this thing on. Actually, no, that's the one I was just on. Stop sharing. Share screen. Okay, here we go. This is the one. All right. Accusation. Insults against Blessed Mary. Sanhedrin 106 says Jesus' mother was a whore. She who was the descendant of princes and governors played the harlot with carpenters. Also in footnote 2 to Shabbat 104, it stated that in the uncensored text, uncensored in quotes, text of the Talmud, it is written that Jesus' mother, Miriam the hairdresser, had sex with many men, right? Jesus was a bastard born of adultery. Oh shit, that's fuck that shit come from. That must be my cash out. Oh shit, thanks Nagy, appreciate that shit. Need that motherfucker too. Excuse my language, y'all. Try to keep this clean. Jesus was a bastard born of adultery. Yabamoth 49b. You could come up on here too, Malachi, if you're still up on here. 49b, page 324. Mary was a whore. Jesus, who they say is Balaam, was an evil man. Sanhedrin 106, A and B, page 725. Jesus was a magician and a fool. Mary was an adulteress. Shabbat 104b, page 504. The reference to Shabbat 104 will be taken up in another section. That's the other page that I was reading from. As we see here, which one I want to go to? Okay, all right. R. Simon ben Al-Zayah said, I found a book of genealogies in Jerusalem. And in it is written, a man, Philoni, is a bastard. This is claimed to be the reference to Jesus. However, this claim is patiently ridiculous. The Mishnah was most likely referring to a famous person, and due to the lack of any practical ramifications, his name was left out by the compilers of Mishnah. Philoni is a biblical term used similar to John Doe. See this? See, when you deal with the experts, and I say these people are experts and not necessarily saying they always right? But You got people that dedicated their whole lives to studying this literature, and you have these cult flunkies that go out there and get some little pseudo information from their cult leader, and they hop on the internet and do stupid stuff like the video I did yesterday with the guy they're showing. What was that guy's name? I forgot the black dude's name, but they tried to say that he was Joseph Smith. And it took me 5 minutes to find out who that man was in that picture. A simple Google image search brought me right to where the picture come from, where it's at now, what museum or whatever where it's at now, who the man was, when he was born, and all that stuff, right? They'll take this thing and they'll believe, and they only 1 year deep wet, 2 years wet, 5 years wet in the cult. And all of a sudden they think they're some kind of scholars, and most of these people don't even have high school diplomas, right? They had horrible grades in school, and they don't know how to properly research, right? So that's one thing I had to learn, how to properly research stuff, like, you know what I mean? And even I'm not an expert at researching, but I know like 10 times more of what I used to know 2 years ago about researching. These people go to anything they find on the internet and just run off of it. Don't fact check it and none of that stuff, right? So let me see what y'all saying. Anything going on in the chat here? All right. Get back to this here. So Filoni is a biblical term used similar to John Doe today. Roof 4 and 1. The keeping of genealogical records was very common in Talmudic times, so that the regular Jews did not marry bastards and violate the biblical prohibition. Deuteronomy 23 and 3. Investigations into lineage and proclamations of bastardly were not uncommon. And there is no reason. I'm going to share this link too. So all the little notes and stuff like that, you guys check it out and check this stuff out for yourself. If anything I was in error or they was in error and stuff, then leave a comment, right? There's no reason. Hit the like buttons too. I need them likes. I need those likes. There is no reason to assume that this refers to Jesus. Gustav Dahlman rejects the assertion that this Mishnah refers to Jesus. Similarly, R.T. Herdford calls this suggestion doubtful and probably unfounded. John Meyer calls it odd speculation. All of this is cited proving by John P. Meyer in his highly acclaimed The Marginal Jew, Volume 1, page 108. Sanhedrin 106a. R. Yochanan said regarding Balaam, in the beginning, a prophet, in the end, a sorcerer, right? Rav Papa said, as people say, we was the descendant of princes and rulers. She played the harlot with carpenters. Here we come to the comment distortion. All right, let's wait for the little kid to move on and stuff. I don't want to say nothing crazy. He's passing by. He reminded me, y'all ever saw the movie Is It Better Off Dead? That was funny because I spoke about Better Off Dead last night. The movie Better Off Dead with the kid, the newspaper kid that was on his white, and he had the switchblade comb. He said, I want my $2. I want my $2. This kid just reminds me of that kid. It's funny. Okay. Here we come to the common distortion that references in the Talmud to Balaam are really veiled references to Jesus. As we shall soon see, Balaam is not a Talmudic code word for Jesus. Therefore, the passage above is referring solely to Balaam and not Jesus. Besides this fact, read the passage closely, and you will see that Rav Papa is offering a parable that explains R. Yachanan's statement. It is impossible to read R. Yachanan's statement as referring to Jesus and Rav Papa's as referring to Jesus' mother. R. Yachanan is saying that Balaam had tremendous potential and started out as a true prophet of God. However, he turned to evil, and in the end, his life became a sorcerer, user of black magic. This tradition regarding Balaam's descent was also recorded in the Tan Chuma. I never even heard of that. I gotta look that up. Balak 5, and in the Yakut Shomoni, number 771. Rob Papa adds a parable to explain this. Consider a woman who is married to a powerful ruler who leads their people out into battle. She is used to being the wife of someone strong, whose powerful hands can skillfully manipulate a sword and overcome any opponent. If her husband were to die, she would still want to marry someone in similar position of leadership and strength. Even if this widow is continually passed over by those who wishes to marry her, she will still strive for her former glory. It will even marry a carpenter who, while not leading his countrymen out into battle, still must skillfully handle tools, even when the ability to reach her old glory is obviously absent. She will still try. Shit, sound kind of like. Okay. All right. I should be good again. All right. Let me know if you guys hear me. The internet is tripped out. Just hit one or something in the chat. But I'm going to keep reading here. Well, y'all don't love me enough to put a one in the chat? I can keep reading. Y'all going to miss out if you can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Hold on one second. I'm just going to refresh my thing here. Oh, now y'all put the one up in there. Y'all late. Y'all late. All right. Okay, let me get back to this now. I'm like, yeah, y'all know y'all put a one. I know some of y'all be at work. Y'all can't pull your phones out and stuff like that. Y'all get in trouble messing around with Killer B. But all right, let's continue here. Okay, the lady wanted the old thing back, right? Similarly, Balaam started out as a man with prophecy, like a prince or ruler. He was capable of seeing the future and even manipulating it through his curses and blessings. However, when he lost that gift, when God removed his prophecy, Balaam still wanted to see the future, even resorted to such pale comparisons as sorcery and black magic, like a carpenter. This passage has absolutely nothing to do with Jesus, and there is certainly no insult implied towards Mary. All right? Accusation, another accusation. Gloats over Jesus dying young. A passage from Sanhedrin 106 gloats over the early age which Jesus died. Has thou heard how old Balaam, who they consider Jesus, the accusation considered Jesus was? He replied, it is not actually stated, but since it is written, bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, it follows that he was 33 or 34 years old, right? Sanhedrin 106 passage. A secretarian said to our Kanaya, do you know how old Balaam was? Kanaya replied, it is not written. However, since it says in Psalms 55:24, men of bloodshed and deceit will not live out half their days. He was 33, 34. The heretic said, you said, well, I have seen the chronicle of Balaam, and it says, at 33 years, Balaam the lame was killed by Pinches, the robber. That's interesting because we were talking about that weirdo Dominican dude that says he's a rabbi and he's been converted and now he's in rabbinical school and all that stuff and threatened to get gangs and do witchcraft on me and stuff like that. And I thought Pinches was like a Spanish name or something like that. Personally, I ignorantly thinking, but now I see it here, right? I know, Brainstorm, you in the workout class, getting the Zumba. That's right. Um, Again, we see the assumption that Balaam is a code word for Jesus. Here, the connection is that Jesus died at age 33. This little kid, he circled the block. He asked me why I'm out here. Why are you always riding around in the circles in your bike? Go somewhere new. Nah, his parents probably told him don't go nowhere else. So he's doing laps. But here is a connection that Jesus died at age 33, and his passage says that Balaam died at that age also. Also, Pinches and Pontius Pilate both have the letter P in their names. Even if this passage refers to Jesus, which it does not, I do not see any gloating. However, historians generally agree that this passage does not refer to Jesus. The following is taken from Encyclopedia Judica. Jesus, volume 10, page 16. Transliteration from Hebrew changed from consistency. However, it is impossible to imagine that a Christian would ask a Jew how old Jesus was and call the gospel Balaam's Chronicle or that Pontius Pilate, who was not mentioned even once in the whole rabbinic literature, should be referred to as Pinches. The secretarian referred to was merely a member of a Gnostic sect who was testing whether Shania. Oh, I text Sister Cherry in church. My bad, Sister Cherry, but you know your phone in church. I done told on you now. So she being good and no answer back. I think she did. I think she did answer back. I hope she did. Right? In church. But Balaam's Chronicle was an apocryphal book on Balaam. These books often adopted an unfavorable attitude to the partridge and the prophet, and it was possible that Pinches of the Bible was called in them Pinches the robber. All right. To clarify this issue, let us address the general claim that Balaam is a Talmudic code word for Jesus. Balaam in rabbinic literature is one of the archetype villains. As we shall see, he was a powerful man whose prophecy and closeness with God gave him potential to do much good. However, chose to use those gifts towards evil because of his terrific potential that was utterly twisted. His heavenly abilities that were perverted towards wrongdoing. He is considered the prime example of corruption. And we see this in the cults. This is who I could consider these cult leaders as. Mr. Judah Nasty, as we call him. General Yohana. We got Nate Satan. We got I forgot the name, the code word for General Yohana, so I just said his regular name. But we got a name for all these cult leaders and stuff other than what they call themselves, right? So these people act just like them, just like Balaam. They had the potential to do good, but chose to do evil, right? So, okay. Okay. Okay, I missed my spot here. I just start here. Because of his terrific potential that was utterly twisted, his heavenly abilities that were perverted towards wrongdoing, he was considered a prime example of corruption. Check the time. All right, I got plenty of time on the laptop. Some scholars have suggested that Balaam is a code word in Talmudic literature for Jesus. However, we will show that Balaam is considered a paragon of evil and passages that cannot refer to Jesus. And from these passages, we can see that there is no compelling reason to read other similar passages as referring to Jesus. Indeed, reading these passages as referring to Jesus would be breaking with the established understanding of the Talmud. So you see here that Jewish people aren't not talking no junk about Jesus, but they're actually helping Christians to understand and saying, no, listen, and they can easily say, yeah, because they don't believe in them. So, but a cult would tell you they say like one of the we call them OT Israelites, right? So one of the Old Testament Israelites and stuff, they don't believe in Jesus. They say Jesus penis, all types of crazy stuff, right? I'm referring to them. Like if they could find anything saying something negative about Jesus Christ, they will say it whether it was right or wrong. They would say it whether it was right or wrong. All right, Alon, shot you out on here. Alon, I ain't heard from that brother in a minute. Well, I did the other day, but that was the only time. Wow. But okay, let's move on. Sifri, Deuteronomy 34:10. Never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, but in other nations there did arise who? Balaam, the son of Beor. But there is a difference between Moses' prophecy and Balaam's prophecy. Moses did not know who spoke to him, but Balaam knew who spoke to him, as it says in Numbers 24:16. The words of the one who hears the saying of God. Moses did not know when God would speak to him until he was spoken to, but Balaam knew when he would speak, as it says, who knows the knowledge of the Supreme One? With Moses, God would speak to him until he was standing, as it says in Deuteronomy 5:28. But as for you, stand here with me. But with Balaam, God would speak to him even while falling, as it says, Numbers 24:4. Who sees the vision of the Almighty while falling with uncovered eyes. We see here a clear reference to the biblical Balaam. The description, hold on one second. Let's check something out here. Where Nagy at? So hit me with the cash up. I don't see him up in the chat. Okay, but damn, only two people up in here. All right, look it. You gonna stop me? Okay. We see here a clear reference to the biblical Balaam. The description of his awesome prophetic powers, greater than Moses, is inferred from verses describing the biblical Balaam. There is no way that this passage can refer to Jesus or to Yeshua. The Rabbi Natan 2 and 5. Why is Job called a perfect and upright man? To teach us that we were born circumcised. Adam was also circumcised, as it says. So God created man in his image. Seth was also born circumcised, as it says. He begot in his likeness in his image. Noah was also born circumcised. Shem was also born circumcised. Jacob was also born circumcised. Joseph was also born circumcised. Moses was also born circumcised. Even the wicked Balaam was born circumcised. Samuel was also born circumcised. David was also born circumcised. Jeremiah was also born circumcised. Jeroboam was also born circumcised. The Talmud here is working with the understanding that circumcision is the final step in the creation of man. The uncircumcised man is not quite complete, and God gave it to us to finish the job and complete the creation of man by circumcising him. However, there were some people born with such potential for greatness and perfection that they were born already circumcised. They were born destined for perfection. Among these list of heroes, this list of righteous and holy leaders is Balaam. He was born with the potential of greatness, which he unfortunately perverted towards evil with his free will. It's clear, however, based on the chronological order, that this refers to the biblical Balaam and not Jesus or Yeshua. Both Jesus and Yeshua would have been listed after David, Jeremiah, and Jeroboam. This passage, skipped over the thing here. Talmud Sanhedrin 106a. Come, I shall advise you. Rabbi Ababar Kahana said, Balaam said to them that God hates promiscuity and they desire flaxen cloths. Let me give you this advice. Make tents and put old prostitutes in front of them and young ones inside. When the Jews are walking in the market, the old lady offers to sell them clothes at market value, and the young ones offer it cheaper. After 2 or 3 times, she tells them that he is already a comfortable visitor and should choose what he wants. All the while, a bottle of Ammonite wine sitting beside her. She offers him a glass of wine. After he drinks, it will burn him up, and he will ask for sex. She will take out her idol and demand that he worship it first. He will say that he is a Jew, and she will say that all she is asking is that he defecate, and he will now know that this is the worship of that idol. She will also say that she will not sleep with him until he denounces the Torah of Moses. This passage discussed a surprising transition in the biblical narrative of Balaam's prophecy. Numbers 24 directly into Numbers 25 and 1. Israel settled in Shittim, and people began to harlotry with the daughters of Moab. Commit harlotry with the daughters of Moses. The Talmud's explanation is that Balaam, the paid advisor of Moab, I can picture somebody getting a soundbite for me what I just did. It says, see, he's turned into a reptilian. But let me move on. Killer Bee's a reptilian. Showed the Moabites how and why to entice the Jewish men into idolatry. This passage is clearly about Balaam, and it describes both his cleverness and his despicability. There are many more passages that show that Balaam is considered by the Talmud to be both a powerful and utterly wicked man who earned the title of the most hated villain. All right. A second here. Okay, I can finish this up here. Mishnah Avot 5:19. Whoever possesses these three qualities belong to the disciples of Abraham, our father: a generous eye, a humble spirit, and a meek soul. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? But he who possesses the three opposite qualities, an evil eye, a proud spirit, and a haughty soul. I'm Jude Nazareth. I'm the Messiah. I'm watching these niggas out here. Tell you go against me, you go against the Most High. Yeah, y'all see this right? It's right here, and this is why they don't want you to tell. Hey, this boy making another lap. This is why they don't want to tell you to read any of these books, because it will further condemn these people. Okay? Let's move on. Is the disciple of Balaam the wicked? Who? You remember Christ said you are of the devil, right? How do the disciples of Abraham differ from the disciples of Balaam? The disciples of Abraham enjoy the world and inherit the world to come, as it is written, Proverbs 8:21. Endowing with wealth those who love me and filling these treasures. The disciples of Balaam inherit Gehenna and go down into the pit of destruction. Oh shit! Oh yeah, that's the Muslim word. The Jews say Gehenna too. Oh no, that's crazy. As it is written in Psalms 55:23. But you, O God, will cast them down into the lowest pit. The bloodthirsty and the treacherous shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in you. Here again, we see that Balaam is a paragon of evil. Using strictly Old Testament examples, the Mishnah tries to demonstrate the proper attitude one should take in life. The point of these examples is to show that Balaam is viewed in rabbinic literature as the ultimate villain. Through indisputable proof, we have shown that the biblical Balaam, not Jesus or Yeshua, is constantly painted as someone destined for greatness who instead misused his talents for evil. In commentary terms, he is the Darth Vader of the Bible. It is therefore no surprise that historians can find many passages that generate Balaam. However, there is every reason to believe that these passages refer to the actual Balaam and not to Jesus or Yeshua. There are some historians who believe that Balaam is a Talmudic code word for Jesus. However, this story has not stood up to the scrutiny of academic Talmudic scholarship and has fallen out of favor with historians. Professor Louis Ginsburg, Some Observations on the Attitude of the Synagogue Towards the Apocalyptic Eschatological Writings, Journal of Biblical Literature, 1922, page 102. One may therefore state with absolute certainty that the entire Talmudic Mishrahic literature does not, okay, Abu, does not know of any nicknames for Jesus or his disciples. For John P. Meyer, a marginal Jew. For instance, a radical position is represented by John Mayer, who maintains not only the Mishnah, but also both Talmuds lack any authentic, direct mention of Jesus of Nazareth. In my opinion, Meyer arguments are especially convincing for the Mishnah and other early rabbinic material. No text cited from the period really refers to Jesus. He thus confirms the view I defend in this section. Note, historian of rabbinic Ephraim E. Urbach dedicated an article to explaining the rabbinic view of Balaam and debunking the theory that Balaam is a Talmudic code word for Jesus. Now, this is easy for them that just to say, just to throw dirt on them. You know what I'm saying? But here, these people are telling the truth. They're giving their honest opinion on it. Because they can easily say, yeah, that's Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Everybody come to Judaism. Right? They can easily do that. It'd be deceitful and stuff like that. But their book tells them not to be that way. And I don't know if I can get into it today, but tomorrow I might get into it early. And you're going to see how there's another meme that this person put up, right? And I'm going to knock it down just like I'm doing this one, right? And it's going to show, so it's going to contradict yourself. They're going to show how to, going by what they're saying, the Talmud will contradict itself. So if you want to believe that, you have to believe everything else in there, right? Okay, another accusation says Jesus is in hell being boiled in hot excrement, right? Akenos Bar Nikos called up Balaam from the dead, asked who is honored in that world. Balaam replied, Israel. Kilos, is that like a Greek name? That's kind of weird. That sounds like a Greek name, not a Jewish name. But anyway, what about joining them? Balaam replied, Deuteronomy 23:7, you shall not seek their peace or welfare all your days. And asked, what is your punishment? Balaam answered, ooh, that's a big B. All right, get away from me, Mr. B. What is your punishment? Balaam answered, in boiling semen. Econos, call up Yeshua from the dead. Econos asked, who is honored in that world? Yeshua replied, Israel. Econos asked, what about joining them? Yeshua replied, seek their good. Do not seek their bad. Whoever touches them is as if he touched the pupil of his eye. Econos asked, what is your punishment? Yeshua answered, in boiling excrement. As the mass said, whoever mocks the words of the sages is punished in boiling excrement. Here we see the story of the famous convert, Aunt Kilos, who prior to converting used black magic to bring up famous villains of history and asked them whether their wickedness saved them in the world to come. Right? That's a good thing to ask me. You getting into that and stuff, that would be a good first thing to do. Is like, if this is the right idea, like where y'all at? Where y'all at right now? Y'all been doing this your whole life. Where you at right now? Right? In both cases, there is a third case of Okonos calling up Titus as well. The sinner is being terribly punished in the afterlife while Israel is being rewarded. Presumably, this helped convince Okonos to convert to Judaism. As we have explained elsewhere, Yeshua is not Jesus of the New Testament. He is most likely a prominent sectarian of the 1st century BC who deviated from rabbinic traditions, created his own religion, combining Hellenistic paganism with Judaism. While Yeshua may be the proto-Jesus, some scholars to inspiring the early Christians. He is definitely not the man who was crucified in Jerusalem in the year 33 CE. Interestingly, if someone were to claim that Yeshua is in the passage above is Jesus, then Balaam cannot refer to Jesus because both Balaam and Yeshua are in the passage together. In other words, it is self-contradiction to claim that the passage above about Balaam's mother being a harlot or dying young referred to Jesus, and to claim the passage about Yeshua being punished also refers to Jesus. You cannot have both ways. See how easy this shit is? All I had to do was read that last paragraph, really. You see how easy this is? It's that simple. Oakley's was a convert that wrote the Torah commentary. Thank you. You will come on here, Malachi? Because I know you know more than me and a whole bunch of other people put together about the Talmud and the Zohar and all that stuff. Come on up in here if you can. Now I'm going to read. This is quite long here. I read about Ben Stada. This is a lot. I'd like to have Sister Cherry here for this one here. This is strictly on like Jesus. But I'm going to show one thing here. Another thing how these shows. I'm just going to read this here. And you ready to close it up. I'm just going to eat, bro. I'll see if you're still on. Okay. All right, cool. I'm not going to be on for too much longer and stuff. But yeah, but thanks, though. You know, you my go-to man for all this stuff. Okay, here. I want to go eat, too. I ain't eat nothing yet today. I almost burned my damn house down last night. Fell asleep on some hamburgers. I'm drinking this crazy still water. This shit crazy. They take this shit off the market. I wish I'd take this back to the store. Ugh, stuff is now. It's called Ever, Ever, and Ever. Yeah, you drink this and die, and you dead forever, ever, and ever. Let me read this last. Let me show you this last thing here. Oh yeah, make sure y'all hit that like button. Share if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I could use it. We're almost at our goal. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna read this right here because I don't know where it starts. But I'm just gonna use this right here. Both having spent time in Egypt and similar to two American Jews today, both visiting New York City at the same time in their lives. From the year 307 BCE to the year 113 CE, Alexandria had one of the largest and most illustrious Jewish communities in the world. Its hundreds and thousands of Jews had a very large and active Jewish community, which is probably why our Yeshua ben Parachia and Yeshua were able to hide there. The Alexandrian community was also noted for the affinity of Hellenistic culture. Its most famous product, phyllo, wrote exclusively in Greek and propounded a very Hellenistic philosophy, which some consider to be heretical to Judaism. It's certainly not surprising that the young Ben Pandira visits to this thriving Jewish center led him to accept the hybrid Jewish Hellenist religion that was considered idolatry by traditional Jews. The following chart shows which details refer to each person. Right? Yeshua ben Tera, Pastors 1, lived in 18 BCE. Ben Stada lived in 100 CE. Student of R. Yeshua ben Parachaya, Yeshua escaped persecution by fleeing to Egypt, and upon return became an idolater. Executed on the day before Passover, had close contact with the government officials, had 5 disciples who were also executed. His legacy remained for centuries, even until the time of R. Yishmael, died in 133. Right? Ben Stada lived approximately 100 CE, sometimes called Ben Pandira, but mainly Ben Stada, possibly to differentiate him from Yeshua ben Pandira. Brought witchcraft from Egypt. Mother was Miriam, the hairdresser, also known as Stada. Father was Pandira. Stepfather was Papos ben Yehuda, executed on the day before Passover in Lud for idolatry. Right? Early Jesus, some historians go further. It is well known in a long matter of controversy. You know what? I'm going to read the end of this and back out, and I want to give this to Sister Cherry for her to do a lesson on this. I think Sister Cherry do a good job going through all this stuff, right? Some historians go further. It is well known and long a matter of controversy that beginning in the early 19th century, some historians disputed the existence of the historical Jesus at all. According to this theory, Jesus never existed, and the early church fathers created him as a figure for their religion. The Gospels were compilations of various legends that were attributed to this mythical character, Jesus, right? Much ink had been spilled debating the theory, but there are some historians who accept this and go one step further. They identify the basis of the New Testament, Jesus in the story of Yeshua ben Pandira. This legendary figure, who was branded a heretic by Jewish leaders, founded a Jewish sect that inspired and influenced the early Christians. These early Christians then adopted the story of Yeshua ben Pandira and modified it to fit into a later historical period in their own elected religious beliefs. Right? Some daring scholars have even identified the original Jesus to proto-Jesus Ben Yeshua ben Pandira as a teacher of righteousness. Oh shit! Oh shit! Who led the sect in Quran? Yo. Wait. I got something. I got to talk about this off the stream, but y'all hear me? You like Sister Cherry, you supposed to be doing something, be paying attention. You over here messing with me. But you can hear me, right? Give me a one if you can hear me. Okay, my thing's working because Malachi just hit the thing. That's why he could have lived at the same time as the Torah. Okay. All right, cool. Let me go back to this here. But if Malachi should know where I'm getting at, that Ben Pandira, and I thought of it last night, and I tried to do some research on it, but I only did like stuff, and I just left it alone because I couldn't find no like real quick like links like to it. But of a certain person that we know has changed his name on another social media account to what we just read. Excuse me. But it's spelled a little different. Oh, Mr. Nasty, as a teacher of righteousness. So is he considering himself Yeshua ben Pingira? He might be. And it might fit his ass. But anyway, while these theories are highly speculative and certainly not mainstream, researchers have amassed a large amount of evidence from archaeological finds to medieval references that point to either this or similar conclusions. It seems clear by now that there is no consensus whether Jesus was mentioned at all in the Talmud. Most of the supposed blasphemies of Jesus and Mary in the Talmud do not refer to them at all. However, there can be no denying, and no rabbi would deny this, that the authors of the Talmud did not believe in Jesus' messiahship or his divinity. If you're looking for Christian fellowship, then Jewish literature is not the place to look. However, there's no basis at all to state unequivocally that the Talmud calls Jesus a bastard or that Mary was a prostitute who had sex with many men. As been shown, those pages definitely not to refer to Jesus. See, that's all I'm gonna read for today. But what up, y'all? Huh? Nah, live streaming. Yep. Oh man. So yeah, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here and stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Brainstorm Homeschool Academy, Malachi, San Miguel TV. Y'all go check out his channel too. He got a real good channel. He'll be beating up on the Colts and stuff. We need to get him over here more too to start slaying these people. What y'all think about me changing my channel name to Witchfinder TV? What y'all think about that? Let me know in the comments and stuff. But yeah, hit that like button, share, subscribe. We got y'all want to join the the supporters list and stuff. We got the link there at the top of the chat. You know what I'm saying? You can just leave a note on the Cash App and stuff. What name you want me to say and stuff like that. Name, business, social media platform or whatever you want me to shout out, and I'll shout out every video like I did today. Right? So wow, 5 people just jumped up in the room. But yeah, y'all missed a good show. For y'all new people that popped up in here, that's a real good show. Had some powerful information, knocking them down. And I got some more to go. I definitely got some more to go. I'm not gonna share those of y'all smart enough and stuff like that. Y'all can find where I got the information from, but I just want to run through some of the other things that's on here. That's pretty interesting. So with that, on that post on Facebook that this person put it up, 47 comments right here that I had with one of the. I'm not gonna say it. I'm trying to keep my language down, but one of the cult dummies and stuff is up on there. And there's no information. I'm on there to share information. Not necessarily debate, but share information, right? 47 comments. I only put up two comments with the information and left it alone. And this fool is rambling on, trying to insult me and this making itself look even more stupider, right? But that's what they are. These stupid people. Dumb people. They don't know no better. Right, but I'm just reading your thing now, Brainstorm. Yeah, you're right. I'm kind of scared. Hey, Cherry Love, you come on up in here talking about Jesus. Cherry Love just be popping out of the bushes. Wait a minute, it's 12:40. I know it ain't no 12. You in church, Sister Cherry? Don't come on here with it. Get you in trouble. Yep, he is in church right now. I know. I looked at the time. I was like, wait a minute. They ain't out of church right now. She might have went to the sunrise service and got out early. Nah, so Cherry go for the big one. She won that little early sunrise service. Or maybe she go to both. You better get off that phone. I tell Brother Brian to get his belt. I think that was Brother Brian that used to say that. That used to crack me up. He said, wait, where my belt at? So I get because when people leave, Ray Stir laughing. When people leave, say the cult, they still hold on to a lot of this like foolishness, and they might join something like say they might go back to being what people would call like an old regular Christian, and still hold on to that stuff. Like the church might even say some of these things. You know what I'm saying? Church might even say some of these things, but and a lot of times, the church don't. And most likely, if they do, you most likely in a cult this disguised as like a normal Christian church. But you're gonna. I hope Sister Cherry ain't listening to me. She already hung up the phone. Get off that phone, Sister Cherry. You turn it on and up in church. I should call you, get you in trouble. Church quiet as a mug. And watch Sister Cherry scramble for a phone, trying to hang the thing up. I'll fix you, Sister Cherry. I'm the Witchfinder General. I'll fix you. Go on there. Keep playing. Keep playing in God's house. But I'm just playing with you, Sister Cherry. But what I was saying, yeah, these people like you might go to some other religion or something like that, and they'll tell you this stuff, or you might still have it. You might leave the cult and still believe this about these people. You know what I'm saying? And you see how they don't believe it. They didn't insult him in here. They didn't insult this man, even though they don't believe in him. Right? They didn't insult him, but these people will insult. And it what had me like bugged out about the post that the brother made, right? Is that he didn't look into where it came from. So that's like the person, like someone comes in and murders your family members, right? And friends with that person after that and ask him for advice. That's what that. The website is not up, so it has been taken down. But what comes up is like a Wikipedia type of thing that comes up. Let's see, I'll pull it up real quick. Uh-oh, so you're acting crazy. Yeah, that is Ray, sir. You got that right. Jesus gonna get her behind though. Hope she can take the weight. Hope she can take the weight. Oh snap! Is my internet tripping? I think it is. Wait, let me. All right, I'm back. Oh yeah, the thingamajiggy. Where is it? Slow local. Here we go. It's, okay, here we go. This is where old boy got this from. And I hope you're watching and listening up. I hope you're watching. I hope you're watching. This is where he got it from. So Samoloko News. Samoloko News is an independent, alt-right Jewish conspiracy website and news organization founded and run by Scotty Spencer, a native of Youngstown, Ohio. Local news promotes hate and anti-Semitic rhetoric, such as ban the parasitic Jewish group and save humanity. Aside from mainly attacking Jewish people, Local also promotes hatred for Muslims, LGBTQ, feminists, Catholics, and pretty much anyone else who is not a straight wasp male. This news website is also a neo-Nazi apologist and a neo-Nazi sympathizer, fascist, white nationalist, white supremacist, and a Holocaust denier for some reason. The goal of this website is to promote their hatred as well as making fake news about it. Now, you see that? I didn't read this one. It was another one that I had read, right? About this group. But they just said what I just said. That they promote hatred as well as making fake news about it. So even if it's a lie and it sounds good and it's going to convince their followers, they're going to say it. Like you go to say, like with me, right? Somebody tell me something, it sounds good. I'm still going to go look it up and I'm going to say, yo, this ain't right. It's not correct. It sounds good. Like I might be going at one of these cult leaders or something and somebody hit me with something and I'm like, I'm not going to use that. That's not correct. That's off. Because I don't want to have myself hold myself accountable sitting up in here lying. You know what I'm saying? Now they could come back and say, look, I exposed Killer B for lying on us. And then it all fall down. So you got one lie knock you behind down. So now you got a second guess. And even if you said everything else was right. So now people that are not into or just learning about these groups and stuff like that, they're gonna lean. They can take that one video and forget about all the other videos that I did. That's why I keep it 1,000 with y'all all the time, right? There's a ton of stuff I could have did, right? There's a ton of stuff I could have did and chose not to. I was like, no, I just stay with what I did, what I'm doing. You don't think I might not have no new material like to come out with at the moment. If somebody come up with something and it's not entirely true, you know what I'm saying? They want me, no, I'm not gonna use it. I stick with what I got. Now, so do that posted it. Look, I'm showing you where the information comes from. They are responsible for spreading anti-Semitic propaganda throughout the internet. They blame all the Jews for everything. Their website design is extremely poor. Well, they don't have to worry about that no more because it's not up. It looked like it came from 1990s. That sounds like Judah Nasty's wife's website came from like 1990. I don't know who did her website, but that's the worst website I've ever seen. I do websites. That's the worst website I've ever seen in my life. Whatever. Most of them are making anti-Semitic canards against Jewish people, as well as overroosting the anti-Semitic cartoon, right? And this person has been putting those up. Its founder, Scotty Spencer, got arrested for writing neo-Nazi phrases in chalk in Youngstown, Ohio. He wrote an article trying to defend himself for the crime, claiming it was free speech. Ironically, they deny the existence of the Holocaust, yet they're advocating for a mass genocide of Jews, which was the Holocaust in a nutshell. They also share similarities with anti-Semitic groups, the Daily Stormer. They are against Jews, African Americans, Latinos, and other minorities. They also support the Pizzagate conspiracy, even though it was already debunked. This website, that sounds like another member that was in a cult, Mr. Lamad, the big dummy and stuff, right? This website claims that Israel and Jews are responsible for the rise of Islamic terrorists as well as funding of both Al-Qaeda and ISIS, which is not true, as terrorist groups are anti-Semitic. This website is also responsible for anti-Israeli settlement in the United States. They even claim that the Jews runs the government, banks, and everything. That's another subject video that I'm going to do. Well, people that claim that the Jews own everything, that they run all the media and all that stuff. It's not true. It's not true. And the ones that are Jews, they're not even practicing Jews. A lot of them. Their claim against Israel is people and Jews have, and everything are most of them are questionable and extreme right bias. They also once supported Donald Trump, but now it backed down because the website claims that he's a globalist and he supports Israel. Yep. That was another thing too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Donald Trump used all that shit against all these motherfuckers. That slogan was hot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was like the ultimate. He had an ill marketing team. And that what made him run. That what made him win the election. That marketing team. They picked the right words. They used the right colors and everything. Like, you know what I mean? And they made it happen. You had all those people in the Midwest and all that. Like, yeah, make America great again and shit. We fix all these niggas and stuff out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, they on it. They on the board with it. Because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like he was promoting that, like, off the record. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in disguise. So the people fell for it. All the poor white people fell for that shit. All the poor white people fell for that shit. I actually don't think Donald Trump was really that bad. Like, truthfully, I don't really think, like, he wasn't all that people like say he was. Yeah, he wasn't a politician. Like, what do you expect from somebody that not into politics that come out and just, like, you know what I mean, do some shit and the motherfucker actually won? That's like me. If I became motherfucking president of the United States, you know how many people be complaining about my ass? Look what this motherfucker just said on TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? Me tripping on, I might trip down the Air Force One stairs. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll probably do that. I'll probably, like, you know what I'm saying? They catch me on the side of the White House and stuff, smoking a blunt. Like, they might catch me, like, you know what I'm saying? Slipping off with Secret Service and stuff, like going somewhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be going. Like, you know what I mean? Or a president shouldn't be going. But I mean, that happens. He wasn't a politician. He wasn't supposed to act right. But he won. Fair and square. He won fair and square. So he was our president. We had no choice but to support him. So, like, just like Biden, like, right? I thought Biden wasn't all there, but I read the things that he wanted to do, and I was like, yo, that's cool if he does that. But yeah, there's some things that I don't agree with what they do. But still, he the president. So everybody else kick rocks because he won. You know what I'm saying? He won. Can't get mad at him. He won. It's like the World Series or the Super Bowl and stuff like that. You might not like the team, but he won. So you gotta deal with it. That's the champion for this year. like it or don't. You can say whatever you said. They also supported speaking to globalists. They use his words as anti-Semitic insult, as well as Zionists become an anti-Semitic slur insult without knowing the meaning of the ideology. Wait, let me read that again. Speaking of globalists, they use this word as an anti-Semitic insult, as well as Zionists becoming an anti-Semitic slur insult without knowing the meaning of the ideology for supporting Israel, either a Jewish or non-Jewish. Okay, let me close this thing. So I don't know, homeboy. You gotta do a little better. Yeah, he knew what to say. Exactly what they wanted to hear. You absolutely right. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? He could have come out and said, yeah, we gonna put all these niggas back in slavery. Like, that's basically what the message was. Like, that wasn't a message, but that's what the message read, like, subliminally to a certain demographic. That's what it read to a certain demographic. That's what it read. And so it allowed people that felt that way but wasn't willing to go public with it. You know what I'm saying? To go out and say, yeah, we can get this thing working. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like a sideshow. Like, we got a big festival out here called the Big E, which I should be going to, yo. I forgot all about the Big E. That shit might be over with. Or I think this week might have been the last week. I gotta figure out about it. Big E's like a big New England festival. All the people from New England go there. There's a whole bunch of cows and sheep and like agriculture stuff and mad food and all types of stuff. It's huge, like rides and all types of stuff. It's cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yep. Yep. But what I was saying about the damn Big E thing, I forgot. I lost my thought. But I'm getting the fuck up off of here and stuff and go get something to eat. So I'm Killer B, the Witchfinder General. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that goddamn Cash App if you can. You know what I'm saying? Get on the supporters list or keep supporting however you do it. And thank all my supporters, and I'm up out of here. Peace. Yeah, Neggy, where you at?